You know, there's a generation going on right now of people who wanted to have children or who want to have children, but their career came first. They worked and they, really worked out. They got pretty house. They got their career all set up. They're well established in whatever field that they've been in. Doctor, nurse, painting, architecture, whatever it may be. And the thing is that they left their childbearing too late, or that their body's a little bit too old to have children. Of course, there's the thing that people can try for IVF, which for some people that does not work. Natural insemination, doesn't work either. And they've got to come to the facts that their body's not going to produce a child. So what do? Do you buy a couple of animals and treat them like human kids? Do you buy a monkey, put them in diaper and, train the monkey to be semi-human like? It's really hard, I've seen on the internet, and I haven't followed it, but I've noticed that there had been a trend, or is a trend, with homosexuals or gay people, that they actually adopt disabled kids, severely disabled or whatever, and that's been a success rate for them. The success rate that I would say for the homosexual, gay, lesbian, whatever they are, the success rate for them is that they adopt issues. They send their child to a certain special needs school. They're on the committee. They become sort of like disabled experts, because that's how they've managed to have children, by adopting some kids who have got severe disabilities beyond the average person's understanding of looking after a newborn baby. So it's a very funny way. Also, you've got people who are not homosexuals, who are straight. They're single and they just want to have a baby, but they don't want the commitment to a male or a female or whatever it may be. So some girls choose to try to get pregnant through artificial insemination. The success rate is, I don't know, because I don't know anyone who has had artificial insemination besides IVF. It's a shame that not everyone can have children. Young people who are starting out their first time in marriage can find out that one or the other partner is infertile, and they still want to have kids. And sometimes, their family will say, well, I will let you, inseminate me or whatever, so you can have a child. Sort of like the surrogate type thing. And in some countries that's illegal. I guess if I was faced with not being able to have a child, well, I haven't had any that I know of. I'm not going to chase up old girlfriends to find out if I did or didn't. So in my perspective is that I've discussed that with my wife. It's a personal matter, of course, about child rearing abilities, all that sort of stuff. She's already been there, done that. She's had a child. She doesn't want to do it again, but she's got me. Yeah. So in some ways I'm thinking, well, do women or men adopt personalities with that they can actually try to change and rare in humans, especially men trying to change women or women trying to change men. I know I'm going a little bit off key here, but some couples do have personality defects of closeness once they realise they can't have children, or they accept that they can't have children and they look for the B model, whether adopting is an issue, whether adopting internationally, abroad, going to a poor country like India or, certain parts of India. I'm not saying Indians are poor, or going to the Philippines or going to the poorer parts of Africa and adopting a skinny child. I don't know what the benefits are and how to qualify, because there is a lot of poor people living here in America, but for some reason, and they're probably living in orphanages or in an orphanage, but some people just don't qualify for adoption, or maybe they don't have enough money or parenting skills or whatever may be, so they turn to the alternative of seeking something that's overseas and then bringing it back. I'm talking about it as a commodity. It's difficult, I wondered, and I discussed this with a few different people, and they felt a bit offended. But I wondered if I adopted something, because I don't know what. Do I adopt as a designer baby? Do I sort of first realise what type of lips I want in the child, what type of hair, ears, colour of the eyes, and that's the sort of peekaboo that I'm looking for. What's the parenting skills? And will the family that I'm involved with accept my choice or the choice that I get from adoption? Whether the baby has big lips on the bottom, big top lips and bottom lips, or very skinny lips, or smaller ears, or should they look similar to my wife, or should they look similar to me, so there wouldn't be like, oh, whose kid is that, or whatever may be, or do I want to adopt a kid that will bring issues into the relationship, a lot of work, a lot of physical or emotional needs that can't actually always be met by the parents, but have to attend special schools and belong to groups, and where I'd probably have to train to be a nurse just so I could look after the kid as the kid grew up. It's very difficult, because I know that there's a lot of parents who look after special needs kids, and there's non-parentals who do the same also. So they would be sort of looking at things in a different needs factor if they watch this video. So having no children can be very good in one way and very bad in another for some, because it's just, you're watching this, it's a very hard topic for me to understand personally, because I haven't done it. I don't know. What's your thoughts on, did you adopt a child? You can adopt a child, you can't adopt a child. Did you adopt a special needs child? What was the procedure for you to get a child to live with you, or to what's the cost involved looking after a needs child or a non-needs child? Do you send them to what school, which school, what type of kindergarten, childcare? Do you still work? Do you have a nanny? There's many questions that I would like you to answer if need be, and just sort of give us an idea of what your type of child rearing is, and what sort of blessing you had or blessing you didn't get, or whatever may be, on Men's Help TV. Thanks for listening to my ramble.